Speaking of outdoor games, let's hop into some NHL news. So it came out the other day. First of all, did you guys watch the Winter Classic, which was on New Year's Eve this year?
Nope.
People work. It
I
was
was at
on while
work.
people were working. What are they doing?
Well, it started at 5 o'clock, so most people would have been getting right out. But yeah, isn't it so weird how I think we discussed this previously, but the NHL lost their holiday.
Yeah.
Like New Year's Day, that was the thing forever. You turn on the television at 1 o'clock, taking down the Christmas decorations, and there's an outdoor NHL game.
The Winter Classic is on.
And the worst part, okay, because we'll get in, because it came out a few days ago that the viewership for that Chicago St. Louis Winter Classic was the lowest of all time for Winter Classics, not even reaching a million viewers.
That's crazy. Like someone's got to get on the NHL about this marketing thing because it's going on like plenty of years now where it's just they don't market certain games enough. Like they don't run enough advertising for them. Like half the time, like I see maybe an ad earlier in the year saying, "Oh, there's an outdoor game this time," and I don't know it's on until after it's passed by like a day.
Here, I will agree with you because I don't have faith they would do so anyways. How do you market that matchup?
I was just gonna say the matchups have sucked.
I don't know. You get Keith Kachuk and JR. I don't know. Maybe doing some funny comedy sketch. I don't know. You're right. There's no. What do you do? Go back to like 2016 and bring out like the old like Kane and Tays and then the Blues. I don't know. There really is no like. Is that even a rivalry?
Oh yeah, it's
Like
Chicago and
it's
St.
not.
Louis. Not anymore, not today, but like if
No,
this was
not
if
yeah,
this
yeah.
was like if this was 7, 8 years ago when they were seeing each other in the playoffs every year, yeah, definitely. But um, yeah, like the matchup sucks. The only thing you can really market is Bedard.
And yeah, you got the actual dead last team in the
Exactly.
league
It's like
against a mid team.
it's like the inverse of it's the inverse of Buffalo versus Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh was coming off of a Stanley Cup run. Or no, that would have been their first year they went to the finals. But still, like you had
Mhm.
Crosby on the come up, and
You had a
um,
Sabres team who was making deep runs at the time.
yeah, and at the very least, you had a venue that you knew Buffalo was going to make memorable. And
Hmm.
I don't know, it just they put themselves in a corner because like who thought the Blackhawks were going to be good coming in
Just
to this year?
stop putting them in Winter Classic games. They're 0 and
They
5.
don't have a win.
They've
Yeah,
been in the
why are they in
most
so
Winter
many of
Classic
them?
games. They have the most appearances and have no wins.
Do they have a win in an outdoor game? That's my question.
Unless it's a heritage game, no, I don't know.
Stadium series, I don't know. Have they gone to stadiums? They always get yeah, you play 5 games and it's so annoying, dude.
Sabres have three outdoor games or what? 1-1-1. Yeah. No, 1-0-2. 1-0-2.
Yeah.
They have two overtime slash shootout losses, and they have one regulation win against the Toronto
Yeah.
Arenas.
But like
And
St. Louis is a weird pick too. Like I don't know. It's just bad. Like then like even at least, Chicago, St. Louis, historic rivals, there's something there. But like most years that's just not the case. I mean,
No.
with 2 years ago it was I don't remember I don't remember last year's. What was last year's?
I just looked up all of them.
Wasn't it
Last
Was
year
it
was
Vegas,
Seattle,
Seattle?
Vegas?
Kraken.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a solid one.
That
Expansion
one's
teams.
fine.
You can market that. But the year before was Boston and Pittsburgh, which yeah,
Yep.
good
Mm.
teams, but like you've seen them a million times. 2022,
St. Louis, Minnesota.
okay, again, sort of historic rivals, but that's kind of boring for a Winter Classic pick. There wasn't one in 2021. 2020 they had
2020
had
Dallas,
the
Nashville.
yep. Okay, same thing. Like
Corey Perry leaves 3 minutes into the game.
it was a
Just
very
walks down
legendary
the.
moment. Very
That
legendary
was
moment.
right before the world shut down. He just walked out.
Yeah. I mean, 2019 wasn't it Boston again?
Boston, Chicago.
2018 was man. Now I'm really
Us and
thinking.
the
Sabres,
Rangers.
Rangers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Sabres, Rangers. But like even it's not like yeah. Buffalo should be in the 10th. Like Buffalo should probably get every anniversary game. Um, but still, it's like
Sabres legend Matt Tennyson ruins my New Year's Day in 2018. I
We
hate that guy.
we
I will
thought
always hate that guy.
we thought Buffalo sports were back because the Bills had just broken the drought 24 hours before, and then you had to wake up and watch that disaster. Like it's just
Ugh.
bad matchups, you know. Like they had at least they're having the proposed good idea of Ovi versus Crosby one last time. They should definitely do that.
Mhm.
But like next year it's both Florida teams are supposedly gonna host their own. No, have them play each other. Like that's part of the issue here. Like, okay, I'm also a bit of a like this is my hot take. The Winter Classic should be in a winter climate every year.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
100% agree with
that's
that.
the spectacle.
Keep it
Okay,
in the
because
Northeast in Canada.
like you think about think about football. Which football games are always like talked about the most? It's
Snow
snow games
games.
because it changes the aesthetic. You never see it. You don't get snow baseball games. Snow, like or at least soccer's not played in the snow. Baseball's not played in the snow. Football is, but it only happens in the back half of the season. It's like hockey. That's part of like the spectacle of the Winter Classic. That's what makes the first Buffalo game so memorable. That's what made the World Juniors game so memorable. It's
Hmm.
like you're watching. It's like yeah, you can barely see it on TV at points, but like that's what's so awesome.
The
And
mystique.
and it's like I remember that 2018 Sabres Rangers Winter Classic. The first period and a half the ice is in sunlight, the other's covered in darkness, and it's terrible.
And we're
And
watching from an aerial cam that's
that
just
too, like
all over
oh
the
my, they
ice.
need to stop. The aerial cam is awful. Nobody cares. Like I know you're having fun with like probably a higher budget, but it's so bad. Like the World Junior game, they didn't have that, and this the first Buffalo Pittsburgh game, they obviously didn't have it. It's like just keep it on a normal angle. It's like it ruins it for nobody likes that.
It's like when that rare occasion where there's a face off in one of the offensive zones and then the offensive team wins it back and then it's that camera from behind the net. You're just watching from behind it. It's like, could you please change
Yeah,
it real quick?
I don't know. Like
I don't want to watch that.
I don't know. Like I'm sure. Like I said, like technical directors, like they probably love to play with all these new toys that they were given for this national broadcast, but it's like it's bad. Please don't do it. So the topic was sort of floated around on Twitter. Uh, what do you do to fix the Winter Classic? Like we've already touched on a few. Like I would prefer it's in a winter location, better matchups. Is there anything else like you would do to fix it?
Market it better. Um, Maybe get some cooler venues. I get the big stadium spectacle is what you want for monetary reasons, but I don't know, maybe like throw a curveball in there, get a little more creative with where you set up for the game. I mean,
Well,
the
they
Lake
did
Tahoe
that
game
with
was pretty
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like
Just
Bettman just keeps digging himself another hole with every sort of idea he
Well,
pitches.
we also haven't brought up the obvious one. There should be one a year.
well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Or you do one on like New Year's Eve and you do one on New Year's Day. I don't think that would be a bad idea.
Just it's got to be a New Year's Day. Like even I was looking at Wikipedia, I was looking at all of the list of all of them, and there's like a note under all of the matchups saying starting in 2025 they'll all be on New Year's Eve. Like that is the main reason why it's doing so bad. Like why is it on New Year's Eve? Make it a New
No,
Year's Day when everybody's relaxing for the day. Not many people work on New Year's Day.
Everybody's
Uh,
hungover.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. No one wants to watch a game on New Year's Eve. Like that's for college football most of the time. It's like you're out. Like TV households, they're going to be tuned to like ABC,
Yeah.
CNN watching or whatever else network watching like the ball drop coverage. Who's going to watch the hockey game? Do it the next day.
Or like at the very least, make it the only NHL game that day. There were every team, I think except two, played on New Year's Eve.
that's a great
And
point
the
too.
Chicago St. Louis was at it was it had its own slot. Nobody was playing at the same time, but still it was at 5 o'clock. Really weird time. And the next day, there was one game at 5 o'clock, or it was like 5 or 6 o'clock on um, a Wednesday. It was New Jersey versus the LA versus LA. And that was it. That was the only game. Like, what are you like? What are you thinking? Like, who planned that out? Just dumb decision making.
Galaxy brained it.